We live in a world that constantly bombards us with messages about the pursuit of pleasure, whether it's through advertisements, social media, or even the very way we structure our lives. Do what makes you happy, they say. But what if happiness isn't quite as simple as it seems? What if the true path to pleasure requires a deep dive into the complexities of ethics and personal fulfillment? Welcome to today's video, where we'll explore an ancient philosophy that has been both misunderstood and misrepresented through the ages. Epicurean hedonism. Is the pursuit of pleasure, as Epicurus envisioned it, as selfish and shallow as some might think? Or does it offer us a roadmap for a deeper, more meaningful happiness? Let's dive in and uncover the truth behind one of the most profound and often misconstrued philosophies in human history. Before we dive deep into Epicurus's teachings, I want to take a moment to welcome you to the Unfolding Journey, a space where we reflect on life, philosophy, and the quest for personal growth. If you're passionate about exploring the complexities of life, unlocking your true potential, and understanding the philosophies that have shaped human history, you've come to the right place. We're excited to have you on this journey with us. If you enjoy thoughtful, introspective content like today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay connected and continue exploring the path of wisdom with us. What is Epicurean hedonism? Epicurean hedonism, named after the ancient Greek philosopher Epicurus, 341 to 270 BCE, is often misunderstood as a doctrine that advocates for indulgence in physical pleasures or mindless pursuit of sensory gratification. However, Epicurus's philosophy was far more nuanced than the simple hedonistic pleasures that many associate with it today. At the core of Epicureanism lies the idea that pleasure is the ultimate good, but it's crucial to recognize that not all pleasures are created equal. Epicurus believed that the highest form of pleasure, referred to as ataraxia, is a state of tranquility, free from pain and emotional turmoil. This state, according to Epicurus, can only be achieved through moderation, simplicity, and self-control, rather than through the endless pursuit of material or sensual pleasures. In other words, pleasure, according to Epicurus, is not about constant gratification or excess, but about creating a life free of pain and anxiety. It's about cultivating a peaceful mind and enjoying life's simple, everyday pleasures, food, friendship, and contemplation, without becoming slaves to desire or external circumstances. Hedonism in the modern context. When we think of hedonism today, it's often associated with the idea of indulgence, partying all night, satisfying every craving, and living without restrictions. The modern interpretation of hedonism has become synonymous with excess, overindulgence, and instant gratification. In fact, some critics argue that this view of hedonism is responsible for the consumerist, live-for-the-moment culture that pervades modern society. However, this modern understanding is a far cry from the vision Epicurus had. In our world, pleasure has been commercialized and often disconnected from the pursuit of long-term well-being. Think about it. We're told that happiness can be bought, that experiences of fleeting joy will lead us to lasting satisfaction. Yet, when the rush of indulgence fades, we're often left feeling more empty than before. Epicurus would argue that this is because we're pursuing pleasures that don't lead to the true happiness of the soul. The ethical foundation of Epicureanism. Another major difference between the Epicurean conception of pleasure and the modern view is the ethical dimension of Epicurus's philosophy. Epicurus believed that the path to pleasure isn't just about what feels good in the moment, but also about aligning our actions with a deep moral framework. For him, pleasure is achieved through virtuous living, which includes cultivating friendships, practicing kindness, and living a life of moderation. In a way, Epicureanism is a philosophy about ethical self-discipline, not moral hedonism. Rather than pursuing selfish pleasures at the expense of others, Epicurus emphasized that the pursuit of one's own well-being is inextricably linked to the well-being of others. Friendship, for instance, is a key part of his philosophy because it provides both emotional security and a sense of connection, which are essential components of happiness. This ethical approach aligns with Epicurus's assertion that the absence of pain, physical or emotional, is a crucial aspect of happiness. The more we act virtuously, the fewer internal conflicts and external stresses we experience, and the closer we get to achieving tranquility. Modern misinterpretations of Epicurean hedonism. As we fast forward to modern times, it's clear that Epicureanism is often misinterpreted. The modern world tends to emphasize hedonistic pleasure as a selfish pursuit, indulging in food, luxury, and instant gratification. Many people associate Epicureanism with these fleeting pleasures, especially when they encounter the term hedonism. In reality, Epicurus's brand of hedonism is more about avoiding pain, especially the pain caused by desire and unnecessary wants, than about unrestrained indulgence. He didn't advocate for avoiding pleasures altogether. Rather, he argued that by being mindful of our desires and focusing on the simple pleasures of life, we could experience long-lasting contentment. Take, for example, his views on wealth. Epicurus wasn't against wealth, but he warned against the endless pursuit of riches for the sake of status or power. He argued that people often chase material wealth out of fear of poverty or insecurity, but true happiness comes from reducing desires and focusing on what we already have. He emphasized that happiness is found not in accumulating possessions, but in appreciating the simple joys of life. The wisdom of moderation. What Epicurus offers us today is wisdom on moderation, a concept that modern society tends to overlook. In a world of overstimulation, instant gratification, and excess, Epicurus's teachings urge us to slow down, find joy in the present moment, and practice self-restraint. We can still experience pleasure, but it should be balanced, sustainable, and aligned with our ethical values. For example, consider how technology has become a major source of pleasure and distraction. Social media, video games, and binge-watching are all forms of instant pleasure that can lead to emotional turmoil, anxiety, and a lack of fulfillment. Epicurus would advise us to be aware of how these pleasures impact our peace of mind and to seek simpler, more lasting pleasures like spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or finding quiet moments for introspection. So, is Epicurean hedonism misunderstood? Absolutely. While modern society tends to equate hedonism with indulgence and excess, Epicurus's philosophy encourages a different kind of pursuit, one rooted in moderation, ethical living, and the pursuit of tranquility over fleeting external pleasures. In today's fast-paced, consumer-driven world, it's easy to lose sight of the deeper aspects of happiness. But if we take a step back and consider the wisdom of Epicurus, we might just discover that true pleasure doesn't come from excess, but from embracing simplicity, self-discipline, and cultivating meaningful relationships. What do you think? Do you agree with Epicurus's ideas about pleasure and happiness? Or do you think modern hedonism offers a better way? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this exploration of Epicurean hedonism and want to learn more about philosophy, ethics, and personal growth, make sure to subscribe to The Unfolding Journey and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Join us on this journey toward deeper understanding, one video at a time.